Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GM. Up next, post-game reaction, Ravens versus Texans. Do me a quick favor, hit like. If it is your first time checking out the gym, hit subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so that you get updates when we upload new content. Let's talk about it. So I'm trying to make this video, man, where everybody's asleep, so I gotta kind of keep it a little bit quiet. But man, the Baltimore Ravens get a big time win last night or yesterday evening against the Houston Texans, moving on to the AFC Championship. I got 5 major takeaways from this game. So let's get straight to it. My first major takeaway is team unity. As we saw, the Baltimore Ravens offense didn't really get going early in this game, really came alive in the second half. And it was as if the defense said, y'all know what? We got y'all. Y'all get it together. We're going to hold it down and then y'all can take over. Because that's exactly how it played out, man. The Baltimore Ravens defense came out, handled all the business in the first half. Yeah, the Ravens put up 10 points in the first half. The defense really held the Texans to 3, giving up the one punt return or whatever. But they came out, held everything down, and when the offense got it going, it was lights out for the Texans. It ended up being a blowout win, 34-10. And so, man, I saw some unity yesterday. And I'm not saying that I didn't see unity before, but when so many games this year have started out in a very similar fashion for the offense, where they kind of get stuck in the mud, they're kind of not connected. It was on the defense to handle uh, the game until the offense could get it going. And that's what it was yesterday. But the stakes of the game was so much higher because it's a win or go home scenario. So, man, I saw some team unity yesterday, man, and I think that's going to be big as the Ravens move forward into the AFC Championship. The second big thing I saw yesterday was Lamar Jackson staying poised. Lamar Jackson admittedly made mention that he had heard all of the commentary about his playoff history. He said he had seen the quotes and so on and so forth. So you know that in that first half, when things were not going well for him, you know that he may have felt some pressure. And I don't mean the kind of pressure that he had to live up to people's expectations. I'm talking about the kind of pressure that he puts on himself to be great. And so he stayed poised. He didn't force anything. I thought a little bit early, he tried to force a couple of different plays in the run game, but I thought that he backed off of that, settled in, stayed poised. It just allowed the game to come to him. And when the game began to open up for him in the second half, man, he was the MVP. And I think that second half will lead into a big time performance in next week's AFC Championship. So shout out, man, to Lamar Jackson, man, for staying poised, running when he needed to run, throwing when he needed to throw, and doing everything he needed to do to put his offense on his back and carry this team to victory. The third major thing that I noticed from this game was adjustments. I thought Todd Monken made some good adjustments between his first half play calling and his second half play calling. I think the biggest thing that we did offensively was what we did in the run game, making the needed adjustments to go downhill on the Texans versus to try and run off tackle or off the edges. I think we ran outside early for a few plays, a couple of failed attempts, but when we start going right at these guys, we got exactly what we needed in the run game. And then the offense kind of settled in, and the rest was history. Another big thing, the fourth thing I seen or noticed from this game was communication. You saw the team talking more. You saw vibing with each other more. And case in point is when uh, Lamar Jackson went to Isaiah Likely. It was a failed attempt. And Isaiah Likely communicated to Lamar, told him, throw it up. And the next time he went to Isaiah Likely, what did he do? He threw it up. Isaiah Likely went up, caught the ball, and touchdown. I'm going to say this. Isaiah Likely may be the best receiver on this team that nobody recognizes yet. It's something about this dude that makes him like stand out. Like when you see him on the field, he looks faster than the guys guarding him. He looks bigger, more athletic than the dudes guarding him. I think that they need to go to Isaiah Likely more because when Lamar and Isaiah hook up, it's always something magical. So I would love to see that happen more next week and uh, and on into the rest of the playoffs. The fifth thing I noticed was the decision making in this game was excellent. I thought that Lamar Jackson was real judicious with the ball. He didn't try to force anything. There was only one time where the ball could have even been slightly picked off, and that was down in the end zone. And so I thought that his decision making was good. Early on, again, I thought he was a little nervous, maybe a little anxious, but who wouldn't be in a big time playoff game, win or go home scenario? And I thought that as Lamar, changed how he saw the game, I thought his decision making uh, raised exponentially. In the first half, when they were rushing him or whatever, he was backing up, running away from the line. But in the second half, even as he made the adjustment, and that may have been him and Todd Monken getting together and making the adjustment. But as he made the adjustment, his decision making was not to run away from the line of scrimmage. It was really to kind of step up in the pocket, tuck in and run, and he did serious damage uh, to the Houston Texans. Man, super proud, man, of everything that I saw in this game, man. I thought Ronald Darby played a good game. I thought Brandon Stevens played a good game. Shout out to both those guys. I thought Marcus Williams made some plays. Carol Hamilton made some plays in the run game. The secondary was in right place, right time all game. Roquan and Queen played sideline to sideline, played downhill, didn't allow anything in the run game. And I thought the defensive front, shout out to the defensive front, which will include Van Noy and Jadeveon Clowney. I thought those guys set the tone for the defense. Even though everybody else did their part, I thought that the front three interior linemen and then Jadeveon Clowney and Kyle Van Noy, I thought that they set the tone. They were in the backfield a lot of the time. Now, we didn't get any sacks, okay? Uh, and CJ Stroud, he did his thing a little bit. He was escaping and rolling and all those kind of things. But we had his behind on the move a lot of this game. And so I look forward to seeing us be able to get home next game and rack up a couple of sacks and bring that quarterback down, man. So shout out, man, to all levels of the defense. Shout out to the offensive line, specifically in the run blocking, man. They did a great job. Uh, Shout out to Justice Hill, man, who ran hard, caught a few passes. Shout out to Dalvin Cook, who made the most of his opportunities. I think he had 2 or 3 carries, 20, 23 yards, something like that. Shout out to Gus, running hard, even when he was getting contact at the line of scrimmage. So, man, just shout out, man, to all of the pieces to this puzzle, man. Shout out to Bate, for grabbing a couple of catches in this game. I think 3 catches is what he had. Would like to see Odell show up a little more. Shout out to Nelson Aguilar, man, for getting his first playoff touchdown after being an 8-year vet in this league, man. So good, shout out to him. And shout out, man, biggest shout out, the biggest shout out, man, goes to Ravens Nation, battling the cold temperatures, man. I think it was 16 degrees wind chill factor. And Ravens Nation showed up, man, and that crowd was amazing and really kind of got Houston off their game early. Jumping off sides on defense, jumping off sides on offense, man, disrupted their communication, man. And so I look for us to show up full throat next week and replicate this kind of performance, man. I'm your guy, Boulanger. This is the GM, and we're out.